Have you ever stopped to think that your personal choices who you marry or allow your children to marry might actually shape the fate of an entire society? It might sound exaggerated, but let's look at it through the lens of prophetic wisdom. The Prophet Muhammad gave us a clear hadith that speaks volumes about this. If someone comes to you with a marriage proposal, and you are pleased with their religion and character, then marry them. If you do not, there will be fitna on earth and widespread corruption. Subhanallah, the criteria for marriage in Islam are simple and spiritual deen and akhlaq religion and character. But somehow, we've complicated this with layers of culture, race, social status, career expectations, and financial status. In today's world, we think our personal choices don't matter much beyond our households. But in Islam, everything is interconnected. Your decisions affect your family affects your community shapes the Ummah, and the state of the Ummah influences the world. One rejected proposal because the suitor wasn't from the same culture, or wasn't a doctor, or didn't meet some worldly standard may not seem like a big deal. But when this becomes a trend, the effects become global. We end up blocking out pious young men and women from halal paths to marriage, and unintentionally opening the door to zina and heartbreak. Then we complain when youth start questioning Islam, when they grow distant from the masjid, or when they struggle with their identity. And what happens next is tragic but predictable. A brother gets turned away again and again, and eventually gives up trying. A sister keeps getting rejected for reasons that have nothing to do with her deen. Parents insist on perfection, perfect job, perfect salary, perfect lineage, yet forget that their child may lose something far greater, their Ummah. When the halal path is closed, the harem becomes tempting. And all of this, as the Prophet Muhammad warned, leads to widespread fitna and corruption. Now, think of the effect within the family. The way you treat your spouse is a lesson your children are absorbing every single day. If a man belittles his wife, he's teaching his son how to treat women. If a woman disrespects her husband, her daughter is learning how to treat her future spouse. You may think your children don't notice, but they are watching closely. They are recording everything silently. And if the foundation of your marriage is based on superficial values rather than faith and character, how can it produce anything but insecurity, dysfunction, and confusion? Even our weddings have become proof of how far we've strayed from the sunnah. We no longer ask, will this marriage be blessed? We ask, how many Instagram likes did the wedding get? Extravagance has replaced simplicity. Music has replaced the Quran. People fall into debt for the sake of impressing others. And then we wonder why barakah is missing from our homes. But what's worse is that every extravagant wedding becomes the benchmark for someone else's, and the cycle continues. You think your wedding is just one day, but it sets the cultural tone for generations. Let's get real. Every one of our decisions creates ripples. You choose to prioritize lineage over deen. That decision gets echoed by your cousins, your siblings, your community. You reject someone righteous due to their passport or skin color. That becomes a reason for someone else to do the same. And then we wonder why the Ummah is divided. We weep for Palestine, for Syria, for Sudan, but how can we call for unity in the Ummah while rejecting brothers and sisters based on tribal pride or financial status? The hypocrisy is painful and very real. We cry about how Muslims are being treated globally, yet in our homes, we treat other Muslims as inferior because they come from the wrong side of the world. We make dua for global solidarity, but can't even practice it within our own walls. The Prophet Muhammad came to destroy these societal divisions. He said in his final sermon, no Arab is superior to a non-Arab, and no white is superior to a black. Yet today, many Muslims still reject potential spouses due to race, caste, or economic class. Let me ask you, would you have rejected Bilal as a son? What about Suhaib Salman, Al-Farsira? These were some of the most righteous companions, and they didn't come with money or lineage, but they came with taqwa. When you reject someone based on superficial standards, you're not just rejecting a person, you're rejecting a future. You're rejecting generations that could have been built on piety, sincerity, and faith. You're rejecting the exact thing our Prophet Muhammad told us to cherish most. And then, we turn around and wonder why our homes are filled with unrest, our communities filled with divorces, our youth filled with confusion. You can't build barakah on broken principles. Let's imagine a better world for a moment. A world where our youth aren't stuck waiting for years just to get married because their parents are waiting for a better option. A world where people marry for deen and grow together in faith. A world where weddings are simple, affordable, and blessed. A world where Muslims support one another, uplift one another, and unite across languages, colors, and cultures. That world is possible, but only if we are brave enough to break the cycle. Parents, empower your children. Let them marry someone who fears Allah and treats them with respect even if they don't check all your cultural boxes. And young people, seek someone who will remind you of Jannah, not someone who just looks good on paper. The person who prays for you is far better than the one who posts about you. Choose wisely. For the sake of your dunya and your akira, let us remember what's at stake. This isn't just about Mariagathis, it's about the moral backbone of our entire ummah. The home is the nucleus of society. If it is built upon righteousness, the community thrives. If it is built upon ego and culture, the community crumbles. So today, I leave you with a question that only you can answer. Are your standards for marriage rooted in Islam, or in society's noise? If this message resonated with your heart, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it, discuss it. Let it be the beginning of real change in your family, your circle, your masjid. Subscribe to Islamic Echoes and turn on the bell so you never miss a message that challenges the way we think and live. Because sometimes, all it takes to rebuild the Ummah is one family doing it right. May Allah guide our choices, purify our intentions, and grant us marriages that are pleasing to Him. Amin.